All right, let's try this again. So I just took my knife handles for these bud vases and I just put them through the belt sander really quick. Let's see if I can make this focus right in off the bat. So there's a little edge there that you can see, a little flat spot. That's going to help us be able to stick these to our spoons. I have 56 of these guys all done. They've already been tumbled. I do this as one of the last steps for them. I have to get the spoons ready, and I thought I had a whole bunch of them here ready to go. That is not them. Nope. Nope again. Those are bracelets. So these are what they're gonna all end up looking like these guys. So we have to prep the spoons still and then solder them together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, sorry. I have an order for 50. I always make a couple extra so that I have them just in case, so I don't run out. And I can't find my spoons. I have a whole thing of rings to be made. More rings. Those are for wind chimes. Wind chimes. Well, I thought I had all my spoons ready to go. That's all wind chime stuff. Those are bracelets. Oh, I think I found some. See, are these matched pairs? They are. So these are supposed to be bracelets, but I'm going to turn them into these guys because I need them today. All this has to be in the tumbler for tonight and ready to ship out on Monday. So today's Saturday. I'll have them all done today. I'll get them in the tumbler tonight and they will be ready to be shipped out and boxed up Saturday or Sunday. So let's see, how many of these guys do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That one's not flattened. 21, 22, 23. That's weird. Let's flatten this guy real quick. Get off. Oh, I forgot that one's magnetized. So the new blocks from Flat Wearables have magnets actually embedded in them, and they are strong. So that's on there. Normally, once they get stuck, I'll just pull them off, or I'll flip them off like that. But that one was stuck on there good. And it sticks on there like that. So we'll just flatten this guy real quick. Done. Get that back over there. Get that there. All right, that's back set. I think I lost everybody whenever I had to start my stream over. For some reason my app crashed on me. I use the OBS app, I think it is. Yeah, OBS. It allows me to do the picture in picture. So this is from the laptop, and this is from my other camera that I get to move around, and my mic, and I can have all that up on the system. Actually, now with the new system, you guys can see this. So this is what I'm running. So this is what I'm looking at whenever I'm watching live, but then you can kind of see over here that it takes it a minute. So I have to look at this camera to make sure you guys are actually seeing what you're supposed to be seeing, because there's a delay. And I was always waiting for the delay before, and that makes it kind of weird and boring. So, okay, so we have less than half of what we need for these bud vases, but we're going to go ahead and make them anyways. So I'm going to be going at full speed because I need to get these done. How am I out of containers? Okay, we're going to use this one. I eat a lot of these nuts from Sam's, and I love the containers. Okay, so we got that one. I'm going to bring you guys over here. And I need you actually right there. Let's get this get the camera to stop focusing in and out every couple of seconds. Sorry about the mess behind. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. The other nice part about making some of these beforehand, or having some extra, is my customer likes them this direction. So that means I need to do the pattern side for my first bend. The pattern side is going to be down. Here, let me bring you over here. So, because the first bend goes like this. So, pattern side down. So if you don't have the strength to do this with your thumb, you can hold this. I've done it holding my left hand, holding this, and my right hand hitting here. After that one, man, it hasn't been that long since I've made these. Yeah, so we're up. We're doing the down. I do have to switch over to this guy. This is the second size, the second largest pin, and we're in the shallowest setting here. All right. So I'm pushing that in until it hits here. It looks like that's fuzzy to me. Let's do this. Let's zoom you guys in. Okay, so my hand focus this. There we go. Okay. We'll pull right down on that. This part, again, I'm holding with my left hand, and I'm going to tap this up, flip it over. I'm going right to the neck here, right where the neck starts, and then I'm going to lift this up. That gives me this shape. I'm going to finish this over here at the on the anvil, but for right now we're just going to do this to all of them so I don't have to keep changing positions. Pattern side down. I wonder if the notification didn't go out that I was started the live again. So this is one of the old ones that doesn't have the magnet in it. The new block has the magnets and it has 3 channels up on the top. So that's next on my list. Did that break? Nope. It just felt weird. So the next part of this is going to be flattening out our spoon bowl to accept the knife handle that we put on it, and we'll be straightening out this part here. So sometimes they come off, they're a little wonky. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going a little too fast for Will and Nelson today. So maybe that will help people know that I'm live again. So I just got an order for 50 of these. So I try and get these out as fast as possible. Because if you can see on my bench, it's a mess. Things do get lost. So I always try and get everything out same day or the next day. Oh, that's what I haven't been doing. I'm gonna have to go through and fix the rest of these. I thought they looked a little tall, but I would have eventually figured it out. So from this point here, what I'm doing is hammering it down. That's bumping the middle part here out further. So whenever I bend these over, these are going to be closer to the tip. So just tiny step. That's why I do everything in batches. Once you get something going, it's easy to just kind of get in the flow. And everyone is different, so if you want to hammer it down a lot, go ahead. If you want to not hammer it down, that's fine too. I like to get the 2 solder points for most of the bud vases. Just makes me feel better knowing that it's secure. One little small step. The nice part about the teaspoons is that you can bend them mostly with your fingers. Some of the larger pieces, like the serving spoons, those can get a little hard to bend. But these were all going to be bracelets. But they're clean and they've already been flattened, and I need them. No, I don't want to install my printer. Can't you see I'm working, computer? Couple more left. It's weird, no one's hopped on yet. So I actually have a show coming up, which I didn't think I was going to be doing any shows, but it's just a small local artist show. So I've been building up some stock for that. That is upside down. So I'm looking forward to that. We used to do shows almost every weekend. And then I would spend the week replenishing and making new creations. So we always had something new. So sometimes these are going to turn on you. So what I'm looking at is this is turned this way to me, and the spoon is actually pointed that direction. So the spoon's going that way, the handle's going this way. So if you want to just kind of tap that around a little bit, and then you can hit it in the direction that makes it line up. And again here, this is one of the points that we're going to be figuring out later, going straight. So you can bend it straight, and then whenever you hammer it, you can hammer it back. I know you're at kind of a weird angle to see this, but everything now is straight from my point of view. All right, 3 more. That one's a little thicker. So I got my new website up. I have to get some more pieces stuck on there. I still have my Etsy shop. All right, last one. Still have my Etsy shop, and I'm trying to get to where I can live stream on TikTok, because that would be nice, because all this mundane stuff. All right, that's all of them. All right, so let me unzoom you first, so don't make you sick. Turn the auto zoom back on. Come on. You can come back. You can do it. There we go. So I finally figured out how to get you guys back pretty quickly. Okay, so we're gonna go. So this is finished. These are our spoons. Okay, so this is where we're going. Let's see. Let me just double check this to make sure that it's streaming correctly. It says it's going. Oh, it's got the lag time. Okay. And huh. All right. So I'm going to say we end this stream. Actually, let's go ahead and finish these guys. I'm going to bring you over to the anvil here. Okay. Turn this off. All right, so here's what we're doing here. I'm making sure that these are sitting flat all the way around, and I want to make sure that this direction is nice and straight, so it's not kinked off to one side or the other. Now I'm going to bend this over. I'm putting my finger here. Hi, Donald. Yep, I'm back. So I just put my finger here. I tuck this piece into my hand, and then I'm just bending over this. So what that gives me is that makes this all tighter here. So whenever I take my bud vase, it's going to sit like this, which is going to give me 2 points to solder. I'll have the bottom, and I'll have the edge here. With the flat ones, I can take them out and make them their own section because there's a lot more solder there, but I like them being in the 2 spots. It just makes me feel more comfortable. Okay, so that one's done. And I like doing this before I start putting them together. It just makes things easier, and once I bend them over, it makes it harder to get a hammer in here. So I'm looking for this to just kind of sit flat. So it's flat. Let's bend this right over. Still flat. So this one, the tip is up just a little bit, so I'm going to bring my board. This is brown board or paneling, and there's a little dimple right here. I'm just going to hit that with the brass end. You can use the rubber end, but it's on bottom, so I don't mind it too much. So now our tip is now down. We have a little bit of a gap up here, and there we go. So bend this around. Make sure it's straight towards me. I got a little wobble in here now. There we go. Just getting these little steps done first. All I have to worry about is grabbing one and soldering. So this one here is bent up quite a bit. Go, and this one is off. So let me zoom you in here. So if I'm holding it straight towards you, the spoon is straight towards you, you can kind of see how this guy's canted off to that side. I'm going to take and put my finger here and right here where it meets, and I'm going to turn the spoon a little bit. It only takes a little bit. So there, we're a lot straighter now. There we go. Now that's nice and straight. Okay, this needs bent a little bit. Another thing that you can do is, if you don't have the finger strength, you can take and whenever you're trying to bend these, put it in your vise. So I have my leather in here. You can put it in your vise, and you can kind of see where it bends. So just take, and you can bend it right over. That'll straighten you out. Nice and straight. That looks so messed up on the camera. But it is straight. Zoom you back out. Straight, yep. So right now I have a problem with the tip here. It's like higher. There we go. And this one is raised way up this way. You can kind of see the glare right here. What got me interested in this hobby was my back. There's quite a few months over the course of the year, and normally during the winter, that I can't walk. I'm literally stuck in bed or stuck in my chair on the couch, and I was feeling like I wasn't contributing to the family by, helping provide for the family, because if I can't walk, it makes it very hard to have a job. And if I just have a bad day, there's only so many times that you can call out before your boss fires you. So I went through a couple of different things, trying to recycle and repurpose different things. I have fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and a bunch of those other, it's not terminal, long-term. Yeah, basically I'm going to have them the rest of my life. So I wanted to find something that I could do to help the family, would help bring in some money, and my OCD kind of took care of the rest. Let's see, what did I do? I did a bunch of, let's get you guys straight here. I did a bunch of different DIY kind of stuff. I'm pretty handy. I can pretty much build anything I want. I hate math, but I know enough to be able to make stuff. I used to do construction and all of that. I was a nurse for a while, or nurse's aide for a while, and that eventually blew out my back. So, and I've always loved to create. So being able to do this, I actually started, I don't have it here, it's somewhere in the shop. After I tried a bunch of different DIY jewelry things, I just didn't have the tools for some of it, or it didn't really interest me enough, or wasn't financially viable to start small and then grow bigger. So what I did was I found silverware jewelry. I grew up in California, and I've seen silverware jewelry my whole life, but I'd never thought of making it or how it was made or anything like that. So I did a little bit of research on Pinterest and Google, and I found out that I can make some simple things. I have a bunch of tools, so I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. So I made my daughter a bangle bracelet out of a fork that I got from Walmart. I think it was 3 for $1 or something like that. And I took it home and I beat it into submission, and I made a double heart bangle bracelet. The fork was super flimsy, really easy to bend, had a ton of hammer marks for me trying to flatten it and get the bends right. I didn't have the right tools. I had enough tools to be able to do it. And so I was like, okay, so my one daughter liked it. My other daughter wanted one, so I made one for her. And then their friend wanted one, so I made one for them. And then somebody asked me if I could make something else, so I made it. And then somebody asked me if I could make a dog. So I made a cat at first. I don't have anybody up here. I think I might have a dog. Let's see. That's an old version cat. So, yeah, I'll share these guys. So this is an old school cat. Let me get the autofocus back on. So this is an old school cat. I soldered on a jump ring on the back of its head so that I could run a chain through it. This is kind of my alien cat. I tried to make it more like one of the dogs that I make. How do I not have a dog here? If you go on our Instagram, you can see all of our dogs. I think I'm up to 43 or 44 different breeds of dogs. So discernible breeds. So a friend of mine asked me after making the cats if I could make her dog Barnaby. And Barnaby's a Schnauzer. Probably the easiest dog that I could start with. And it was really good because looking at all the different pictures and everything, I was able to see the one discernible thing about a Schnauzer is obviously the beard, size of the body. And so I traced out a fork, flattened a fork, traced it out on paper a bunch of times, and because I have to work within the confines of the fork, I kept drawing, and I think I went through 4 different drawings before I got to one that I liked. So I drew it up maybe 30 minutes, and then I went in the shop and I started cutting it out. And I didn't have one of these at the time, this jeweler saw. I had this guy. And this is what I was already making my cats out of. So it took me a little bit, because the design is kind of the same. You have the head that comes around, the head is pointed towards the tail. So autofocused on, okay. The head is pointed towards the tail, and then I had the tail come up. So the Schnauzer had a really small tail. But I made it to where its beard came down, and then I etched that, and it looked really good. Like, I was super surprised. And she loved it. So then I started getting requests for other things, and I started in November, and we did our first show in April. So just over the course of the winter, I made enough different things to be able to go to a show. I mean, it's a small show, but it was a show and it was a start. And after that, we kind of saw what people liked. We found some things that I could make easy. At the time, the rings were the hardest thing that I was making. I was using this old aluminum ring mandrel. And I was taking and beating the rings into this. That's why you can't really see any of the numbers or anything on it. It was just beat like crazy. But that got me started. And once it started taking off, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I can sit down. Some days I can't sit because of nerve problems and things, but even if I can't walk, I can generally sit. And I can't sit forever, but I can sit for a while and have the opportunity to make something. Then things started getting a little bit better, and this all just exploded on me to making just a little frog cut out of sterling silver spoon. Elephants were pretty easy. And then I started getting into my bracelets. And my bracelets, let's see, can you see the pattern on that one? There we go. It's a great pattern. It's got an amethyst stone, and these are amethyst beads in the back. And then we started making our own magnets. And they sit really nice. So I got the math worked out, I got the OCD worked out so I could make these consistent. And from there, we made hundreds and hundreds of different bracelets. And they're customizable. So if we're at a show, I could remake a bracelet with different stones in like 8 to 10 minutes. And recently I started getting more into silversmithing. So this is one of my pieces with moonstone, larimar, and a couple of copper pieces. And this is on sterling. So the evolution of it all started because I wanted to provide for my family, and not being able to walk and having to work around my disabilities comes to here. So that's kind of how I got interested and how it took off and started, and then the rest is physically still the same. We're not doing all the shows now. We're doing a lot more wholesale. Like I have 50 bud vases to make. So I hope that answers your question. I just got a message that I have to go for a meeting, but I will get back on a little bit later and we'll finish doing a bunch of these. I'll get the rest of the spoons figured out so you don't have to watch me rummage around the shop forever. But I hope that answers your question, Kay. And I will see you guys all hopefully in a little bit.